Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Great price, great selection, great experience. That's what people expect today. What isn't expected is how hard we work after the sale to keep your business. Hard work, honesty, integrity, discipline, trust, character. These core values are why we grow every year and why we continue to acquire more dealerships. Experience the Schottenkirk way of doing business and come visit our dealership in Indianola.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. It's kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
For the ultimate one-of-a-kind game day experience, make a stop at The Other Place. The game is on and drinks are cold with game day specials for every fan. Serving Iowa's best pizza since 1970, it's the place for the whole family. With a mouth-watering menu and state-of-the-art audio-video system, make the OP one of the most exciting destinations for sporting events viewing. The Other Place, American Sports Grill and Pizzeria. Join in on this Iowa tradition, serving the Midwest since 1970.
Hi, I'm Chris from Fireplace Superstore. You may have noticed it's starting to get cold outside, and if you're like a lot of folks, that old fireplace in your house isn't doing you much good. You need to replace that thing with a high-efficient gas fireplace from Heat & Glow. We're going to come in, take your old wood or gas fireplace out. We're going to replace it with a warm, cozy, high-efficient, easy-to-use fireplace from Heat & Glow. It'll be the best thing you ever did to your house. Come see us today, because nothing's better than a warm fire on a cold day. Hi, I'm Chris.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Introducing the new Carhartt shop at G&L Clothing. All the Carhartt you've dreamed of under one roof. Some call it Carhartt Heaven. Stop in today and see for yourself, but be prepared to stay for a while. The new Carhartt shop at G&L Clothing. Open 7 days a week, 1801 Ingersoll. Online at gnlclothing.com.
G&L Clothing. Your size, your style, we've got it all.
Is this guy a contractor who does good work or a contractor who needs work? For a reliable recommendation, trust the Better Business Bureau, protecting consumers for over a century. When you go to bbb.org to check out a business, you'll learn if it's BBB accredited, see its grade on customer service, and read honest, useful reviews from local people. For online recommendations you can trust, start with trust at bbb.org/Iowa.
It's time for live high school basketball on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Young drives the lane, scoops it up short, down in, and kiss off the glass, good.
High school basketball on CISN.TV is brought to you by Schottenkirk Chevrolet, Westside Auto Pros, Mid-American Energy. Now let's go courtside for high school basketball on CISN.TV.
Welcome to Dowling Catholic High School in West Des Moines and girls high school basketball on this Saturday afternoon. With Jackie Scott, I'm Pat Curtis on CISN.TV. Thanks for joining us this afternoon for what should be a great Class 5A girls basketball game. We're going to see the top-ranked team in the state, Iowa City High, playing their first game after their first loss of the season, Jackie.
Yeah, that was kind of a surprise. They played Iowa City West earlier in the season. I believe it was December 7th, and they only won by 7. And being crosstown rivals, and they end up getting beat by 14. Not only were they upset last night, Southeast Polk, I suppose you'd say an upset. Waukee beat them 66-43, and then Dowling also got upset by Ankeny last night.
Yeah, Dowling ranked number 11 in the state after that loss last night, falling to 4-5 in the CIML Central Division, 10-7 overall. The Little Hawks 14-1, 9-1 in the Mississippi Valley Conference. That loss to West, kind of a repeat of it was a rematch of the state championship game last year that West also won.
That's absolutely right. And, sometimes people say, that's a tough loss or a bad loss. And really, this time of year, any loss is not bad. Always something good can come out of it. And you'd rather get beat now than what you would in the tournaments or, in the finals. So
yeah.
Hopefully Iowa City hasn't played since then. So this will be the first time out since their loss on Thursday night.
Last year in that 5A championship game, City High was undefeated. That was their first loss of the season, was the last game of the season. So their first loss coming during the regular season this year to West. Of note in this game, we're seeing two of the top juniors in the state in Aubrey Jones and Caitlin Clark, aren't we?
Yeah, so we should it should be interesting. I would hope, or hopefully they'll guard each other, but you never know. I think they play two different styles, and I know that Caitlin is being sought nationally, and I'm sure the Jones girl is also, because her older sister's playing at Iowa State right now.
Yeah, Aubrey, actually, I understand, plans to play at Iowa State with her sister in a couple years. And Ashley averaged almost 31 points a game last year. Aubrey averaged about 13 last year, and with the loss of her sister, she's really stepped it up, averaging 10 more points per game, about 23 points a game this season, to lead the Little Hawks to this 14-1 record so far this season. Quickly, the starting lineups for both teams. Iowa City High, as mentioned, Aubrey Jones, a junior guard, number 23. She'll be handling the ball a lot. Rose Nkumu, also a junior guard, number 3. Evian Richardson, a freshman for the Little Hawks. She wears number 11. Ella Cook, a sophomore forward, number 20. And Paige Rocca, a junior guard, number 22. The coach for City High, Bill McTaggart, his 21st season. He's led the Little Hawks to 9 state tournament appearances, including a state title back in 2008 when they were in Class 4A. For West Des Moines Dowling, Coach Kristen Meyer in her 3rd season after a successful run at Nevada. her starting five, we believe, definitely Caitlin Clark will be out there, a junior guard, averaging 29 points a game. She wears number 11. Emma Gipple is a freshman forward, number 23. Meg Simplot, a junior, number 15. Ella McVeigh is a sophomore and wears number 1. Also, J.C. Cothey, a senior, the lone senior in the starting lineup for the Maroons, wears number 35. But Grace Gaber, if she's not starting, she'll be one of the first off the bench. She's the second leading scorer for Dowling, about 8 points a game. She's a junior and number 31. We'll see a lot of her. Just talking about the keys to this game, first of all, for Dowling, Jackie, obviously Caitlin is going to get her points, but she really tries to get her teammates involved.
Well, you know, as I looked at the scoring, she's their only double-figure scorer, where Iowa City High has 3 players that are in double figures. So, you know, it's really hard just to key on the Jones girl because you've got 2 other players that also are double-figure scorers. So you know, I don't know if they'll come out and play a zone. Not quite sure, but I would think they would want to value their possessions and they'd want to slow the ball down and, you know, give Iowa City High less opportunities to score.
And for Iowa City High, some of the keys in facing Dowling.
I think just take Clark out of the equation, and you probably got, you know, a recipe for success.
All right, once again, we're seeing number 1 against number 11 in Class 5A. The new rankings came out before Iowa City West beat City High on Thursday, with Southeast Polk losing, City High losing. How do you see the rankings shaking out for the last rankings before playoff time?
Well, I was just talking to Gary Ross, who works for the Athletic Union, and he said that, you know, it's really at this point, it's you know, how well or how decisive your win is, like a Waukee over Southeast Polk last night. So there could be some mix-ups in the rankings for their final ranking next week.
The officials for tonight's game: Steve Russell from Polk City, Zach Stanfill from Rock Island, Cody Oakes of Olwine. A couple of guys making long trips from Northeast and way out in eastern Iowa, Quad Cities area. 8 minutes up on the clock. We'll get started here with the first period, but let's listen into the introduction of the starting lineups.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, loving and gracious God, as we gather for the might be able to give you greater glory. Help us also to keep perspective and to rededicate ourselves to fair play and good sportsmanship. We pray in the name of Jesus our Lord. Amen. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Thank you for tuning in to CISN.TV. Pat Curtis and Jackie Scott with the call here today between Iowa City High and West Des Moines Dowling, this Class 5A girls high school basketball game. Number 1 City High, number 11 Dowling. City High in the red uniforms with black and white trim. Of course, the Maroons in their home whites with maroon trim. I'm sorry, Jackie Sapp. This is my first basketball broadcast of the season.
Well, with me, so
Yes.
hey, that's okay. I make plenty of mistakes.
That will be my first and only mistake.
Oh, there you go. That's good to hear.
The opening tip going to Evian Richardson, or excuse me, there's my first mistake. Caitlin Clark for Dowling.
Hopefully they're going to let them play here. Oh, was that side out of bounds, evidently.
All right, so the first turnover for Dowling City High. Taking over, no score, just underway here at Dowling Catholic High School in West Des Moines. A three-point shot up from Rose Nkumu, no good.
You know, it'll be interesting to see how Dowling plays because it's been less than 24 hours that they just, played last night, where Iowa City, granted they had about an hour and a half ride over here, but sometimes that can make a difference, riding on a bus or, playing within 24 hours.
What a brutal schedule for Dowling, playing last night, turning around, playing early this afternoon. They've got a game on Monday at Mason City. That's a rescheduled game because of the weather. Here comes Caitlin Clark with the first points on the board for the Maroons.
Well, Dowling's in a man-to-man. I thought maybe they'd come out and play zone, so that's surprising.
Nkumu missing her first two three-point attempts. Grace Gaber with the ball. She gets the start today, the junior. The second leading scorer for the Maroons behind Caitlin Clark.
I saw a lot of that last night. Just not focus the ball in your hands at the game I was at. And
so you saw number 2 Southeast Polk get beat last night.
Yeah, against Waukee. Focus.
This Dowling team was up by 15 points and lost last night to Ankeny.
That's the kind of foul you wish they wouldn't call because they had a breakaway layup and the transition there.
So the first foul of the game on number 11, Evian Richardson. Three-point good for Caitlin Clark. And it's Caitlin Clark 5, City High 0.
It's not Dowling 5.
It is Dowling 5.
Well, yeah. Dowling
Nice.
/ Caitlin Clark.
Pass inside to Richardson, but a whistle. And first foul on Dowling is on Emma Gipple.
That was Jones that hit that three.
Clark, a nice dish and bucket for J.C. Cothey. Caitlin Clark with 60 assists on the season, so not only can she score, she can spread the ball around. And Clark with the rebound and a beautiful pass and another bucket for Cothey. Great start for Dowling. They're up 9-3. 3 minutes into this.
You know, so many times when you play somebody that's out of the area, you know, Iowa City High has been ranked #1 majority of the season. You don't really know what their talent level is or the competition that you play. So this is really kind of a good measuring stick for Dowling and Central Iowa.
That ball is blocked out of bounds by Clark. Yeah, these two teams don't play each other every year, but both schools like to schedule kind of one game if they can against a tough Eastern Iowa opponent. Dowling I'm talking about.
Which I think is always good because you're seeing, you know, somebody different.
Yeah. Aubrey Jones taking it to the rim, misses. And here's Caitlin Clark throwing up a three-point shot. It's good. Wow. Great start for the Maroons. They lead City High 12-3, 4 minutes to go in the first period. A quick timeout on CISN.TV.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Dowling leading City High 12-3 to start this game. Caitlin Clark, the star junior for the Maroons, with a couple of three-point baskets. She has 8 points already, and J.C. Cothey with a couple more baskets for the Maroons. Midway through this first period. There's a bucket for Rose Nkumu. 12-5 now. Clark with the basket and a chance for a three-point play.
You know, I was just checking. We were talking about Iowa City High being over here. They come back over to the Des Moines area. Actually, they're in Waukee next Saturday. Don't have a game time for it, but they play Waukee, so
wow.
They're going to get hit twice over here for some good competition.
Clark completes the three-point play for the Maroons, and now a nice pass and bucket for Gipple. Her first 2 points, another assist for Clark, and it's 17-5. Dowling on top of top-ranked City High. Aubrey Jones draws the foul on Gipple, her second. Oh, Cothey, I'm sorry. Both teams with 2 team fouls now.
Boy, Downing's just taking the ball right at Iowa City High. There's been no hesitation. You know, last night's loss maybe could have been a good thing, a wake-up call, and nothing against Ankeny. I mean, they played well the last couple of weeks, but, you know, sometimes a loss can sure make you look at things differently.
That shot no good by Nai Tong, but she'll go to the free throw line. 3rd team foul on City High.
Boy, when you're playing with Caitlin Clark, you better make sure you're ready for the ball because she sees the floor and she whips it in there. A player like that can make other players look really good, which, you know, you're fortunate to have that on your team.
Tong makes both of her free throws. That foul on Aubrey Jones, by the way, her first. Do I see that right, Jackie, that Dowling kind of switching to a bit of a zone defense that time?
Yeah, or they might be playing a switch.
Clark with another three-pointer, her third. She has 14, and now Dowling up 22-6. There's a three-pointer for Jones. She has 7.
What a pass.
Clark with another great pass, but no good. But foul looks to be on Dowling, right?
Yes, I think it's 23. You know, you take a look at Jones, Aubrey Jones and Caitlin Clark, totally 2 different types of players. I mean, good players, but their styles are just totally different. Caton's more of a point guard, slasher, and the Jones girl is, you know, more of an off guard, good shooter.
Oh, and a great pass to her teammate, and 2 more points for City High. That I believe that was Ella Cook that got the basket there. 22-11 now, Dowling on top, and City High will get the ball back with 1:47 to go in the first period. Cothey checking back into the game for the Maroons. It's in Kumu, dishing the ball, a 3-point shot up, no good for Ella Cook. Rebound down to the Maroons. And another foul. I believe
Calling them tight.
Rocca's first foul, the 4th team foul for City High. The Maroons have 3 team fouls. CC Kelly Harvey, a sophomore, checking in for City High now. Three-pointer no good, but nice rebound by Meg Simplot. And Clark misses a 3 finally. Under a minute to go in the first period. Here's Aubrey Jones taking it all the way for 2 more points. She has 9. Oh, and a nice steal by Jones, stepping in the middle there, and a pass, and basket is good for Nkumu. So City High closing the gap here late in the first period. 4 points for Nkumu, and it's 22-15 Dowling. Under 30 seconds to go in the first period. And this will be a foul on Kelly Harvey.
You know, when they're this far ahead, you got to think time scoring situation. Because last night they had a 15-point lead and they lost that. So you just want to make sure you don't get haphazard with the ball, make foolish turnovers, and that you're not forcing things.
Correction on that foul. It was on Evian Richardson, her second. I think she just checked out. Clark, a 77% free throw shooter.
She has a beautiful shot. Nice backspin, good follow through. Oh,
Whoa.
I just say that, and then look what happens.
In and out. So 15 points for Caitlin Clark here in the first period. Just 10 seconds left in the first, and Aubrey Jones with a nice move. 2 more points for her. Oh, man. Clark has 17 of Dowling's 23 points. End of the first period here on CISN.TV.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community. You want to get...
With Jackie Sapp, I'm Pat Curtis on CISN.TV. At the end of the first period, Dowling leading City High 25-17. Jackie, you pointed out Caitlin Clark has as many points as the entire Little Hawks team.
I know, it's amazing.
Dowling jumped to a 12-3 lead, so City High kind of clawing their way back into this one. Aubrey Jones with the ball. She has 11 points. And it's stolen away by Clark. Here's another foul on City High. Their fifth, 7 team fouls now. We were wondering if we'd see it much. We haven't seen a lot of one-on-one matchups between Jones and Clark, have we?
No, but just right now, Caitlin was guarding Jones, so they must have switched at quarter.
Grace Gaber at the line makes the first of 2. Her first point of the game. (27-17), a 10-point lead for the Maroons. Just underway in the second period here from Dowling High School in West Des Moines. No whistle on that play. Here comes Caitlin Clark. Stolen away by Aubrey Jones. Jones might take it all the way. She does. 2 points, and she'll get a chance for 3. Jones completes the 3-point play. The first foul on Grace Gaber. 4 team fouls on Dowling now. Jones with the rebound. Now the Little Hawks trying to cut into this 7-point lead by the Maroons. 7 minutes to go in the first half. Nice rebound by Kothi for Dowling. Three-point shot up and good for Grace Gaber. She has 5 points. She averages just over 8 points a game. Again, the second leading scorer for Dowling.
Ooh. Oh, boy.
Wow.
I thought that was going to be a charge.
Yeah.
But, of course, we had a different angle. It looks like that at quarter break, Clark is totally face guarding Jones, so not letting her try to get the ball at all. That's one adjustment that looks like they've made.
This will be fun to watch. That's 5 team fouls now on Dowling, so City High to inbound underneath their own basket. Jones guarded by Clark, and a nice pass there, but shot no good. The rebound does come down to Jones, though, and another foul on Dowling. That is Nai Tong. I think her second foul. Jones missing the first of 2. She has 14 points. She averages 23 a game. Again, she's already committed to play at Iowa State alongside her sister in a couple years.
Her sister's having a bang-up year at Iowa State. I heard Coach Finley on the TV the other day and saying how she's really come onto her own and she's stepping out and hit the 3. And so being a freshman and stepping into a collegiate role, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Exactly 6 minutes to go in the first half. A 9-point lead for the Maroons. Nearly stolen away, but the Little Hawks losing it out of bounds. Checking into the game for the first time for the Maroons, a new player I don't have listed here. Lexi Bowles. Is that right? That's on the roster anyway. Apologize for that.
Yes.
6'1" sophomore Lexi Bowles into the game for Dowling as the Maroons have a 9-point lead. About 5.5 to go in the first half. Jones driving toward the basket.
Oh, what a shot.
She now has 16 points after that tremendous move. Caitlin Clark coming back all the way. Misses the shot. City High might have numbers here. Jones takes it all the way, and she's fouled for a chance to put City High within 4 points here. And that is the second foul on Grace Gaber. Eight team fouls on Dowling.
It'll be interesting to see what Dowling comes back out and does. At this juncture of the quarter, they probably need to slow it down, work for the good shot. And they've missed some easy ones. That one that Clark just took to the rim, she missed it. She thought she got fouled. I'm not quite sure. But when you attack the basket, good things are going to happen. When you don't attack it, then I think the other team has the upper hand.
18 points for Aubrey Jones of City High. Caitlin Clark for Dowling. I have her for 17 points, 18 points.
That's amazing. 36 points between your two best players.
Yeah, so both Jones and Clark with 18 to lead their teams. And after the timeout, City High will be at the free throw line. Jones trying to complete a three-point play here. And she does. 19 points for Aubrey Jones, and City High with the turnover and basket by Rose Nkumu. She has 6 points. And suddenly it's 30-28. Dowling still with the lead, but City High right back into this game after Dowling started this ball game with a 12-3 run.
Yeah, when they started out, they looked like they were pretty much going to handle Iowa City High, and then lots of things can happen.
Second foul on Nkumu, and Caitlin Clark is at the line. She gets both to fall.
I was gonna make sure I didn't say anything about free throws that time because I jinxed her the last time.
She now has 20. And a 4-point lead for Dowling with under 5 minutes to go in the first half. Jones misses that shot. Clark with the rebound. Here's a three-point shot up and good for Ellie McVeigh. Her first points. Dowling needs other players to score if they're going to beat City High today.
I think on almost any given night, you need to have a support cast that's going to be able to help you out. Ooh, that should have been a kick ball.
Jones misses it. Bowles with the good defense and rebound. She's the tallest player on the floor right now at 6'1".
Wow, what a move. And she gets her own rebound.
Oh, misses it, but Bowles with the rebound, and it's good. So Ellie Bowles, a real spark plug here in the second period when she checked into the game. Great job on defense, and now her first 2 points, 37-28 Dowling. A turnover for City High. Lexi Bowles, I'm sorry, I said Ellie Bowles earlier. So 9-point lead for the Maroons, 3:30 to go in the first half. Caitlin Clark, a long three-pointer, no good.
Those were some of the things that, I'm talking about time, score, and situation. You didn't really need to take a three at that point, and I think sometimes when, I guess I would call it players aren't disciplined enough because they just now built their lead up again, and next thing you know, you start firing threes, and then the gap gets closer.
But Emma Gipple draws the foul for Dowling, and her third point of the game right here. She makes both. So Dowling really doing a nice job at the free throw line here in the first half, and they have built up an 11-point lead over top-ranked City High. Lexi Bowles with another rebound.
What do we got, 9 to 8 fouls?
Yeah.
Now we're in the double bonus. They always say games are won or lost at the foul line, so I believe they've only missed one, haven't they, Dowling?
Yeah, I think that's right. Simplot at the line, her first point in the game. Misses the second. If we look at any players in foul trouble, City High has a couple of players with 3 fouls here in the first half. A timeout now on CISN.TV.
Introducing the new Carhartt shop at G&L Clothing. All the Carhartt you've dreamed of under one roof. Some call it Carhartt Heaven. Stop in today and see for yourself, but be prepared to stay for a while. The new Carhartt shop at G&L Clothing. Open 7 days a week, 1801 Ingersoll. Online at gnlclothing.com.
G&L Clothing. Your size, your style, we've got it all.
Great price, great selection, great experience. That's what people expect today. What isn't expected is how hard we work after the sale to keep your business. Hard work, honesty, integrity, discipline, trust, character. These core values are why we grow every year and why we continue to acquire more dealerships. Experience the Schottenkirk way of doing business and come visit our dealership in Indianola.
Coming up at halftime, we'll be joined by Gary Ross of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Association. Jackie, you mentioned you talked to him before the game started, and like you, he's from Johnston, or
yeah,
has
he retired as the athletic director at Johnston. This will be his second year with the athletic union. I think he's thoroughly enjoying it. I do want to give an update. I got an update on the Southeast Polk Urbandale girls game, and in the middle of the second quarter, Southeast Polk's up 37-31.
All right, so they've responded a little bit to last night's loss. Whoa. Aubrey Jones misses a free throw.
They've almost scored. They only had 43 for the whole game last night, and they're well on their way to score that in the first half.
Jones makes the second. She now matches Caitlin Clark, both of the star players, with 20 points in this first half. Three-pointer good. That's Maddie Allen. No, let me check that. Meg Simplot. Simplot now with 4 points. With that.
Boy, the minute they get a rebound, they look for Clark to push the ball down the floor. Get in there. Close.
No good by Ellie McVeigh, who already has one three-pointer in this second period. 43-29, Dowling on top of City High as Aubrey Jones steps on the line. Another good piece of defense by Bowles.
Way to use that sixth person.
Yeah.
The inline. To show as a coach, it's how you tell your kids.
Check that. That was Kothi, I believe, on the good defense there for Dowling. Bowles has sat down, but what a pass and a bucket there for Emma Gipple. The freshman for the Maroons now has 6 points.
She just sees the floor so well.
Under 2 minutes to go in the first half. 45-29, Dowling on top of City High. Jones missing, rebound, Clark, and another nice pass all the way down. Basket no good, but a free throw's coming up here for J.C. Kothi. So now 3 players for the Little Hawks have three fouls.
That could hurt in the second half.
Kothi now with 5 points as she makes her first of 2 from the line.
You know, they've had quite a few transition opportunities and points Dowling has, and you can tell, like, they must work on this in practice because the passes that Caitlin Clark's making, you know, are easy for the kids to handle. They're right on the mark.
She just sees the whole floor. Aubrey Jones with a three-pointer. She has 23 here in the first half. And another foul on City High as Kothi will go back to the line.
We're missing some of City High's players up there. I think there should be a requirement that girls cannot wear their hair longer than the top of their numbers because it's hard to see.
I noticed that too. Kothi makes both. She has 7 points. And Dowling on top of City High, 48-32. 1 minute to go in the first half. They set up a 3-point shot for Jones. She misses it, or that might not have been Jones. It looks like
it was on that screen.
Yeah, Andy Westlake.
Yep. They were fighting through the double screen. Who'd you say the foul was on?
I missed who it was called on. The first point of the game for Andy Westlake, the freshman for City High. She makes both. Caitlin Clark with a 3-point shot, makes it.
You know, and that was a jump. That was a little jump shot behind the 3-point arc. A lot of girls can't do that.
Clark with 23, matching Jones's effort for City High here in the first half. 30 seconds to go. And a foul called on Dowling. Looked like she got mostly ball there.
That's why we're announcing and not calling, right?
Yeah. Andy Westlake back to the free throw line with 16 seconds to go.
You know, and when you bring officials in from another part of the state, style is different. In my coaching career, when I was coaching in Eastern Iowa, then I went to Western Iowa, it was totally different. So, you know, for these three to come and, you know, referee in Central Iowa, you know, you just don't. You think basketball's the same all over, and it's not always the same all over.
Yeah. Westlake makes both, and she has 5 points here in, or excuse me, 4 points in the second period. As we wind down to the end of the first half, a half-court shot for Aubrey Jones just misses. And a bit of a shocker here at Dowling High School as the number 11 Maroons lead number 1 ranked City High at halftime, 51-36. Back after this on CISN.TV.
MidAmerican Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury, whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
We're at halftime at Dowling High School in West Des Moines. Girls high school basketball, a Class 5A game here today between Dowling and City High, and the Maroons leading number 1 ranked City High 51-36. Dowling jumped out to a 12-3 lead, led after the first period 25-17, and then outscored the Little Hawks 26-19 in that second period. City High really kind of mounted a comeback, but Dowling answered that, didn't they, Jackie?
Yes, they did. I was just thinking, I really wasn't sure what to expect, because the fact that Dowling had gotten beaten last night, and then City High coming off of a loss from Thursday, I just didn't know what we would see or who was going to show up, and I'm pleasantly surprised, and it'll be interesting to see what the second half brings. I think the fact that Iowa City High's got some foul trouble might make a difference.
Yeah, they have 3 players with 3 fouls each. One of the keys for Dowling in this game, Caitlin Clark has scored 23 points to lead all scorers, but they've really kind of spread things around. Emma Gipple, the freshman, kind of quietly scoring 9 points.
Yes, and that's been a pleasant surprise.
And J.C. Cothey with adding 7. Leading the way for City High, Aubrey Jones, no surprise, with 20 points. Rose Nkumu has 6 points at the halftime, but she is playing with 3 fouls. Pat Curtis and Jackie Sapp here on CISN.TV. Again, halftime, Dowling leading City High 51-36. When we come back after this break, Jackie will talk with Gary Ross of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Association. Right after this on CISN.TV.
Introducing the new Carhartt shop at G&L Clothing. All the Carhartt you've dreamed of under one roof. Some call it Carhartt Heaven. Stop in today and see for yourself, but be prepared to stay for a while. The new Carhartt shop at G&L Clothing. Open 7 days a week, 1801 Ingersoll. Online at gnlclothing.com.
G&L Clothing. Your size, your style, we've got it all.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. It's kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
We have Gary Ross with us from the Iowa Girls Athletic Union, and he's always out and about watching games. And what's your take on what you've seen so far the first half of this game?
Well, I think we find we have 2 really fine teams here with several really fine individuals. It's always fun when teams aren't used to playing each other and you go cross state. Don't have a lot of time to prepare because each of them played last night for kids to get out and play. I mean, obviously they're getting up and down the court. We've got 51 for Dowling and 36 for City High, so it's definitely I think you're seeing an opportunity for the teams to get up and down and just play basketball.
Well, and we're seeing premier players in Jones and in Clark from each team with 23 and 24, so what more could you ask for on a Saturday afternoon? Let me ask you a little bit about tournaments ready to start. I believe 1A starts this. Is it 1A?
This Thursday, yep. Thursday, the 1A is the kind of the play-in games on this Thursday, yes.
Is that just 1A?
Just 1A, yes.
And then next week?
And then Saturday, they get going a little stronger. We have multiple classes that are playing the Saturday, and then the large schools start the following Wednesday.
Okay, so 5A's on, what's the date, 13th?
Wednesday, whatever, let me think, it's 13th, yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. And you still will remain to go out and watch games between now and the end of the season, and then what's your role when tournaments start, when sectionals, regionals?
Well, I guess, number one, I just love going out and watching basketball, good basketball, and try to make the connections with coaches and athletic administrators and stuff. So I guess even though the pairings and things are out, I just enjoy getting out and seeing good basketball. My role really, once the tournaments are, we continually keep them the updated brackets, and if we have a need to change a site due to potentially a distance or a need to change, if if potentially an upset or a change occurs from what we'd kind of laid out in terms of our sites, we'll make those changes. Try to go, if we have some local games, I try to go to some local games because we're trying to be in the office as results come in to make sure if there's questions or things that they get in touch with us that we can deal with those at that time.
And also you're praying for good weather, nothing below 0 and no blizzards, right?
Yeah, and I looked and already I saw Thursday as a chance of measurable snow.
Oh,
so
really?
I'm not sure.
Really?
Again, it's several days away, but
Well,
it's kind of one of those things. I'm used to doing that. My wife calls me I should have been a weatherman in my other job because I pay a lot of attention to that. As an AD, I did on a regular basis, and I sure do that now,
no matter
too.
what the season was, whether it was an indoor sport or an outdoor sport, weather makes a difference. I do want to ask you, were there a lot of canceled games from our cold spell that we had, or did most games get postponed and they're going to be made up, or do you even have an idea?
Yeah, it was just a terrible stretch. We had some schools that didn't have school this past week 4 of the 5 days, and then last week didn't have it 2 or 3 days. And so I know there was Davenport North, for one, I think I saw in a tweet that they hadn't played in 18 days.
Oh, wow.
And their schedule, I think, next week was going to be every day that they were going to play a game. And, it just has been really bad because, like you mentioned, we had the snow first where you had measurable snow and you didn't have school. Then we had that cold stretch where it wasn't safe to be out on buses and things. So, talk about resilience. The coaches and the kids have been patient. They stayed with it. Haven't heard complaining. They just want to play. And, kind of tough time of the year for this all to happen as you're getting closer to tournament. Not as much time to make up. So there have been some cancellations, where teams mutually agreed not to play. We actually had a couple that even were playing doubleheaders. They were playing on a Saturday, maybe today, I think, playing like at 10 o'clock and then coming back and playing at 5 o'clock. So they're trying to look at whatever they can do to give the kids as good of experience as they can with this conditions.
Well, Gary, I want to thank you for coming up at halftime. I'm sure we'll talk to you again when we get down to the state tournament. It's always a pleasure to have you on and hear your insight. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate CISN covering and your support of our girls' athletics. So thank you.
For the ultimate one-of-a-kind game day experience, make a stop at the other place. The game is on and drinks are cold with game day specials for every fan. Serving Iowa's best pizza since 1970, it's the place for the whole family. With a mouth-watering menu and state-of-the-art audio-video system, make the OP one of the most exciting destinations for sporting events viewing. The other place, American Sports Grill and Pizzeria. Join in on this Iowa tradition, serving the Midwest since 1970.
Just about set for second half action here between Dowling and City High. The Maroons leading the Little Hawks 51-36 as we get ready for the third period. Your thoughts on possible halftime adjustments for both teams, Jackie?
Well, you got two people in the 20s scoring. I think you're just going to, they're going to score their points. I'm surprised that Dowling's hit some threes. So I think they've got Simplot's one, and there was somebody else that hit some threes. You're probably going to have to play them a little bit tighter. And I think that Iowa City's just has got to not let Dowling get second shots and just be patient and work for the good shot. So, at this point, it could be, even though Dowling's got a sizable lead, it could be anybody's game. But Dowling does not need to play fast. They need to play, conservative, good shots.
Dowling starts with the ball. As you can see, they're wearing their white uniforms with maroon trim. And the ball sticks between the rim and the...
Caitlin Clark, she got that right out. Usually, you got to get a stick and whatever.
So a quick turnover, City High. Their first possession of the second half. 3-point shot, no good by Ella Cook. And a steal here for Aubrey Jones. She has more than a few of those in this game. She lofts up a shot, no good. Caitlin Clark with a rebound. She'll take it all the way. Her first attempt at the second half, no good. She leads all scorers with 23 points. And a turnover for Nkumu for the Little Hawks. No points scored yet here in the second half.
You know, so many players, the shot she just attempted was a runner, and I am just not sold on that. You know, you got it. Your body's got to be straight, not floating forward. I think it's hard for a lot of players to have that kind of control.
Three-point shot no good by Grace Gaber. She made one in the second period. Still no points here. Just a minute, 8 seconds into the third period. One thing we'll definitely be watching here in the second half is the foul trouble that City High is in. Again, 3 players with 3 fouls. A long three-point basket for Clark, in and out, and a foul on Dowling. That is on Kothe. And I think that's her 4th. So she checks out.
Yep, you'd be right. Both teams are cold.
Yeah. Jones misses that three-point attempt. Nkumu drives inside, misses it. Rebound to City High, and they'll maintain possession. Evian Richardson gets the offensive board. This is Nkumu controlling things out top.
When I watch these really good players, because I coach at the collegiate level, that so many times, that's a great shot.
That's Grace Gaber, her second three-pointer, and the first points of the second half for either team. Dowling up 54-36. Go ahead.
Anyway, so many times people look at the offensive punch. And, you know, defense is so important at the collegiate level. You take a look at a UConn, and they are just solid on defense. So I look at these 2 premier players, you know, they're probably going to realize when they get to the collegiate level, it's going to be a whole different game.
Clark misses that shot. Jones down with the rebound, and she's fouled by Kate.
It was
Ella McVeigh, I think.
Yep, it was Ella McVeigh.
That's her second. Paige Rocca just passed the ball. She did not play a lot in the first half because of foul trouble. Rebound down to Emma Gipple. Clark with another great pass and shot up no good. But let's see, we're going to the free throw line. I think will be Nai Tong.
You know, she leads. She leads the person receiving the ball with her passes. I mean, it's like you go to this area. I kind of like to see her and Brady maybe on the same.
Yeah.
Leading with a football and leading with a basketball pass.
(55-36), Dowling with a big lead on number 1 ranked City High early here in the second half. And there's Paige Rocca getting her first points of the game.
I got another update. Southeast Pokes ahead at halftime, 45-35 against Urbandale. 45-35 Southeast Polk.
All right. Clark, a long three-point attempt, no good. Ella Cook with the rebound for City High. Three-point shot, good for Andy Westlake. She has 7, and City High trying to get back into this game with 4 minutes to go in the third period, 55-41. Dowling on top here on CISN.TV.
Stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Aubrey Jones for City High with 24 points, and Caitlin Clark with 22 for Dowling. Those are our leading scorers, as Dowling has a 14-point lead midway through this third period.
It appears that Iowa City High is in a zone.
And Clark finds Tong for 2 more points.
That was a good timeout that Coach Meyer made for Dowling.
Nai Tong with 4 points for the Maroons. Nice move and basket by Aubrey Jones, who has 26 now for the Little Hawks. Here's Jones guarding Clark.
I'm not sure if they're playing a 1-3-1 or a...
Off of Tong, out of bounds, so City High will take possession with 3 minutes to go in the third period, trailing by 14 to Dowling. Jones misses that three-point attempt. Nice rebound by Tong, who gives it to Clark. And she takes it all the way, just misses, but Dowling with the long rebound. Emma Gipple having one of her better games of the season. She has 9 points and some big rebounds, and 2 more points for Caitlin Clark there. Her first of the second half.
That was a nice move, up and under.
The foul called on Dowling's Meg Simplot. And now Jones with 27 points. (28) as City High now trails again by 14. Just over 2 minutes to go in the third period. Caitlin Clark drives into a triple team, loses the ball, and quickly Nkumu with the basket for City High at the other end. Now a 12-point lead for the Maroons. And Clark with a basket and a chance for a three-point play.
What's she have now, 24? 26. 26. Wow. She's almost reaching her average, and Aubrey Jones has definitely surpassed her average.
Yeah, Clark averaging 29 points a game. She now has 27 with 1:30 to go in the third period. And Clark's Dowling Maroons up big on City High, 62-47.
It looks like they're trying to deny Jones all over the floor. It's a big assignment.
Nkumu with 2 more points. She's come up big for City High here in the second half. Jones with the rebound, finds Nkumu. Quickly, another layup for her. She's into double figures.
Sometimes when you pass your teammates, you got to know what your teammates can handle. You know, some people can handle some.
3-point shot, no good, and City High
out of
will get the
bounds.
ball. Yep.
And some people, you know, you got to take a little, what they say, mustard off the ball, so it's not so crisp.
Seems like Nkumu can handle a little mustard.
Right.
Under a minute to go, City High now trailing by 11 points. Jones loses it off of her foot out of bounds, so with 30 seconds to go, Dowling will have the ball. Will they just hold for a last shot here possibly?
I would think. You're up 11, so. And you get the ball to start the fourth quarter, so there's, you know, it could be a 4-point swing. Or 6, depending if you hit threes.
They get the ball to Clark, now guarded by Jones with under 10 seconds to go. Here's the one-on-one matchup. Clark, a 3-point shot, nails it. Woo! 30 points for Caitlin Clark.
Oh.
And that's a big basket.
Yeah, that is.
Dowling leads City High 65-51 with 1 period to go here on CISN.TV.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
Is this guy a contractor who does good work or a contractor who needs work? For a reliable recommendation, trust the Better Business Bureau, protecting consumers for over a century. When you go to bbb.org to check out a business, you'll learn if it's BBB accredited, see its grade on customer service, and read honest, useful reviews from local people. For online recommendations you can trust, start with trust at bbb.org/Iowa. Is this guy a contractor?
Caitlin Clark with a little bit of a buzzer beater, a 3-point shot to end that third period, and she now has 30 points to lead the Maroons here with a bit of a surprise over number 1 City High, 65-51. City High actually outscoring the Maroons 15-14 in that third period. And as you mentioned, Jackie, real big turn of events here for Dowling, getting that 3-point basket to end the third period, and then they start with the ball to begin the fourth, and they can start maybe eating up some of that clock, right?
Yeah, I would think they'd be patient.
Here's Clark from the free throw line, passes up a shot to give a 3-point attempt to her teammate. It's missed, and Nkumu with the rebound. Jones now with the ball, and they almost didn't call that foul on McVeigh, but then it was a foul, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Number 4 on McVeigh.
I think I was going more, because she jumped into her.
Yeah. That's 6 team fouls, by the way, on Dowling. Jones with the rebound. And here's Nkumu, a three-point shot. That would have been a big one for City High, but they get another offensive board. Here's Jones doing a 360, and she gets it to fall. And now she's tied up Clark, both of the big players, with 30 points in this game. So
she works hard for her points. And she's not, a real strong gal. I mean, she's thin and wiry. She probably has some bruises on her when she gets done playing. But she gives it everything she has.
Nkumu with a nice steal, and she's going to take it all the way. And 2 more points for her. She has 12. She averages about 19 a game. And now, suddenly, 10-point lead for Dowling. Again, they lost a 15-point lead in their loss last night to Ankeny. And they're trying to hold on to a big lead here against number 1 ranked City High. And there's a turnover. 6 minutes to go in the game. City High trying to get into within single digits for the first time in a long time.
I think this is going to comes down to who wants it more.
Oh, Caitlin Clark with a steal. Ill-advised pass there. Maybe the Maroons will want to slow it down here a little bit. 6 minutes to go. Clark guarded by Jones. Is that a foul on City High on Richardson?
It should be, but I don't know. They were kind of looking like.
That is the call, and she's out. I think that's her 5th. That would be Evian Richardson. Yep, she's fouled out. And she averages about 5 points a game, but 0 points in this one. 5:30 to go in the game. Dowling with a 10-point lead on number 1 ranked City High. Aubrey Jones with the rebound. She spots up and hits the 3-point basket. She has 33. And suddenly the Little Hawks are within 7. And we'll take a quick timeout here on CISN.TV.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
A 7-0 run to start the 4th period by City High. And now we've got a ball game. Dowling has really controlled this one throughout, but a great start by City High to begin the 4th period at 65-58. Dowling on top, 5 minutes to go. And almost turnover there. Jones knocks it out of bounds, though.
They're playing a 1-3-1, and they're extending their one way out towards the half line.
And the Maroons having some difficulty with that. Clark now with the ball being guarded by Nkumu. The Dowling fans want a foul. Clark misses that shot. Jones with the rebound. And City High now trailing by 7 with under 5 minutes to go. A chance to get even closer. A foul on Ella McVeigh. And I think that's her 5th. Well, they've got 3 on the board against her. So her 4th. Aubrey Jones with 34 points. Wow, and now the Maroons just a 5-point lead. And Nkumu called on the foul as Clark was trying to fight for the inbounds pass. And that is for 4 team fouls in the second half on City High. Almost a dangerous pass.
Oh, yeah, that was.
And here's another foul on City High. Team foul number 5. Dowling's been making their free throws this game, and they'll need to keep doing that if they want to win this one, it looks like. Obviously, this is Clark being guarded by Jones. 4:30 to go in the game, a 5-point lead for the Maroons. Clark to Gipple. And McVeigh, again playing with 4 fouls. Clark gets her first basket of the fourth period. She has 32. That's actually the first points for Dowling midway through this fourth period. The first points for the Maroons in the fourth period. Here's a 3-point shot, just short for Raka. But City High gets the board, and it's Nkumu with more 14 points for her. And back to a 5-point lead for the Maroons. Emma Gipple, the freshman, with a layup.
It was a nice give and go.
She's into double figures. 11 points for Emma Gipple. Back to a 7-point lead for Dowling with just over 3 minutes to go in the game.
Gipple's average is only 3.3, so she's given us some scoring punch they haven't had.
Wow, Jones with another bucket. Now under 3 minutes to go. Clark all the way. Good.
Maybe we should just have Jones and Clark go one-on-one and put everybody else off the floor.
Here's Nkumu being guarded by Clark. 2:40 to go in the game. 71-64. Dowling threatening to give City High their second loss of the season. Jones misses. Dowling with the rebound. That's Emma Gipple.
They could take some air out of the ball.
Here's Gipple. She's just going to hold it there. Surprised City High doesn't get somebody out there to guard her.
Yeah, because they have fouls to give.
5 team fouls for City High. Now 2 minutes left. And a 7-point lead for Dowling. Clark misses. No whistle, and Kumu has the rebound. Oh, what was that call there?
It was an offensive foul.
Looked like on maybe.
Somebody got mad. It was more than one official called it.
It was on Aubrey Jones. She did something trying to get position under the basket.
It's probably frustration.
Yeah. Clark nearly losing it.
She doesn't need to take. She just needs to control the team. And
there's another foul on Jones. So with minute 19 left in the game, Caitlin Clark will go to the free throw line. And the Maroons can really ice this thing away with some free throws.
They just got to be smart down this last minute, 19 seconds, not force the ball. Like, really, Clark came down and she took an ill-advised 3. They didn't need a 3 at that point. I mean, even though you're the best player, you still have to make good decisions on the floor. And she's a competitor. I mean, you can tell she doesn't like losing.
Yeah.
Which, who doesn't, or you wouldn't be out here.
An 8-point lead for the Maroons with just over a minute to go. Three-pointer no good, and Clark with the rebound, and it looks like Dowling is going to knock off number 1 ranked City High, giving the Little Hawks their second straight loss.
I know, that's crazy.
Here's Clark. 2 more points.
I mean, they're scoring a lot of points against them, too. Not only are they beating them, but they're
Yeah, 74-64. With 45 seconds to go. Timeout for City High. And an 8-point lead for Dowling with 45 seconds to go. Updating our top scorers, Aubrey Jones with 37, Caitlin Clark with 35.
that combined is just about as much as what Dowling has scored as a team. That's crazy.
Yeah, Dowling coming into this one as a team, trying to find this here, averaging about 59 points a game. They've got 74 against the number 1 ranked team in the state. City High averaging usually 65 points a game, so they're right at their average.
Again, no loss is a bad loss. If you're going to lose, now's the time to lose. Dowling actually has the tougher pairing in the tournaments than what Iowa City High does, but they were ranked number 1, so when they, you're going to reward the team that, at that point had lost, and Dowling has to face Cedar Falls if they get to that point.
Okay. Dowling opens the regional against the winner between Ottumwa and Hoover. Dowling gets the inbound with 45 seconds. Oh, the clock didn't move when the ball came in. There should have been more time off the clock there, but Dowling
Coach saw that.
Yeah. Just 0.7 of a second off the clock there, but Dowling, I think Caitlin Clark saw it. She's telling the official.
Because when you're ahead, you want the clock to be running. When you're not ahead, you don't want it to be running.
Yeah. Either way, Grace Gaber, the junior, will be at the free throw line for Dowling. She has, I believe, 8 points on the game. She's right at her average. They do take about 3 more ticks off. Oh, no, they didn't yet.
Nope, still the same.
Sleeping up. If it was a closer game, it might be more controversial, but Gaber calmly knocks down that one.
Dowling's done a good job on the foul line tonight.
Yeah, I haven't been able to keep track of free throws, but
they've missed very few.
Yeah.
A couple I can think of.
Gaber makes both of those, and I think Dowling now, if I'm right, has 3 players in double figures, which is kind of unusual for them this season.
Yeah, it is, because coming into this game, Clark had 28, and then it went Gaber had 8.
A couple of players averaging
Both
right around 5.
had 4, yeah. So I mean, nobody was close to double figures.
And Kumu with 17 points, and now a 7-point lead again for Dowling. 35 seconds left, and back to the free throw line will be Grace Gaber.
And it gives other players confidence when they come out. If they get the win and other people have scored other than Caitlin Clark, it's great that she's a scorer. She's a fantastic player, but you always need a support cast. One person just can't do it.
Gaber with 11. She matches Emma Gipple, who has 11 for Dowling. And, of course, Caitlin Clark leading the way with 35. What a big win for Dowling. They came into this game with a 10-7 record, and here they are knocking off a team that finished second last year, ranked number 1.
I would have thought after
last night.
Yeah, performance, they drop out of the rankings, but maybe not now that, Gary had said that it's, not necessarily your losses as the games you're playing.
With 21 seconds to go, another foul on City High, and a 9-point lead for Dowling. They're going to move to 11-7 overall. They have to turn around on Monday and travel to Mason City.
It's not one trip I'd want to make, but but there's a consolation. It's not freezing cold, and there's not a snowstorm, so can't be all bad.
And you just beat the #1 ranked team in the state. That'd be a fun bus ride, maybe.
Well, and it's tough to go up there and win. I mean, there's some team. Valley got beat up there. I think Waukee got beat up there. They're just not used to not making that bus ride.
Oh, Clark just stepped on the, I guess traveling actually called. But she did step on the line under the basket. So a 10-point lead for Dowling, just 10 seconds to go. Clark with the rebound, and the Dowling Maroons will celebrate a big victory here over #1 ranked City High, the final. The Maroons 79, the Little Hawks 69. Back after this on CISN.TV.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
MidAmerican Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Great price, great selection, great experience. That's what people expect today. What isn't expected is how hard we work after the sale to keep your business. Hard work, honesty, integrity, discipline, trust, character. These core values are why we grow every year and why we continue to acquire more dealerships. Experience the Schottenkirk way of doing business and come visit our dealership in Indianola.
Introducing the new Carhartt shop at G&L Clothing. All the Carhartt you've dreamed of under one roof. Some call it Carhartt Heaven. Stop in today and see for yourself, but be prepared to stay for a while. The new Carhartt shop at G&L Clothing. Open 7 days a week, 1801 Ingersoll. Online at gnlclothing.com.
G&L Clothing. Your size, your style, we've got it all.
Pat Curtis and Jackie Sapp here on CISN.TV. Thanks for watching this Class 5A Iowa Girls High School basketball game. And I think a lot of people around the state will be surprised when they see this score, as Dowling, ranked number 11 in the state and coming into this one with the 7 losses, hands City High only their second loss of their season. The Little Hawks now losing 2 in a row. And they're still ranked number 1, but Dowling with a 10-point victory over City High. Jackie, I think we both thought that the Little Hawks might pull away with the victory there in the final period. They pulled within 5, all the momentum going their way, but Dowling really gutted it out, didn't they?
Yeah, I think some keys were there were some key timeouts that Coach Meyer made. Also the fact that City High was in foul trouble. Made a difference. Dowling started off the second half. They were cold. I think it was halfway through the third quarter before they even scored. So,
yeah.
I mean, they overcame some things that obviously last night I wasn't at the game, but they had a 15-point lead and they lose. So, maybe there's some lessons that were learned from that. I mean, they look good today. And quite frankly, City High, I guess my expectations were a lot higher for a #1 team in the state. And, you know, I think Dowling definitely showed that they were the better team today.
Yeah, give credit to the Maroons for this one. A big key for Dowling was Caitlin Clark got her points, 35, well over her average, but 2 other players in double figures. That doesn't happen often for Dowling. The freshman Emma Gipple with 12 and Grace Gaber also with 12 points.
Yeah, and I think moving forward, that's a key, definitely, when, you know, going into tournaments. I just looked at their schedule. They've got Mason City, as you said earlier. They've got North on Tuesday, and then next Friday they have Ames. And Ames has beaten some teams, so, I mean, that's not necessarily given. So I think the fact that the scoring, you know, there were some other kids that scored and contributed is definitely a positive.
And things don't get any easier for City High. They play Cedar Rapids, Washington on Tuesday, then at Cedar Rapids Prairie. They come back to Des Moines area next Saturday to play Waukee, and then they finish out the regular season against Cedar Falls.
Yeah,
so
Cedar Falls is ranked, Prairie's ranked, so yeah, and I think Washington's ranked. So yeah, they do have a tough road ahead of them.
yeah, a lot of work ahead for Bill McTaggart and the Little Hawks as we close out the season. So overall, just the significance of this game here today in Class 5A.
Well, I think it's huge for Dowling because I said earlier, you know, the last rankings where you end up is where, you know, when it comes to the pairings, for instance, they're in the same as Cedar Falls. If Dowling were to end up above Cedar Falls, they would have home court advantage if it got to that point. You know, so for one thing, that's very significant. Another thing, too, is just the fact, I mean, they've kind of had an up and down season. And so to beat a team that with a significant record that's been ranked, you know, #1, was a state tournament last year, I think that's huge for morale and, you know, can only build positive things off of it.
All right, that's Jackie Sapp. Thank you so much for joining us here today on CISN.TV. For Peter Tarpey, this is Pat Curtis. Our final score, Dowling beating City High 79-69. Thanks for watching. This is CISN.TV.